On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
She didn't go to school. She didn't get her education. She did and fulfilled her duty as a wife and mother, right? That man decided to leave the home with another woman. That's his choice. Okay, cool. He's decided to do that. That left that woman with no resources, no income, no education, no work experience for the past 20 years. And you have the nerve to sit up here and tell some women in those situations, just get up and work. Who's going to be watching those 7 kids because dad's not doing what he needs to do? That's why the government stepped in and started holding men accountable because the children were suffering.
But you're using an extreme example.
That's not
when
an
women
extreme.
leave,
That's
when
why it
women leave,
actually started.
when women again, you have to stop cutting me off. When
No,
women,
you're cutting me off because I wasn't even done talking.
Y'all one at a time. Y'all one at a time.
Women are the ones that leave. So women leave 70 to 80% of the time, 90% if they're college educated. So why don't we talk about the women before we talk about the men?
I mean, I think at minimum, it's a catalyst. Like, even I agree with birth control and all of that because it totally changes our frame of mind as women looking at sex and relationships and things to mitigate the natural consequence of sex. But it's a major catalyst. I mean, I don't think there's any denying that.
Yeah, again, I think social media was just the nail in the coffin. But if you look at the divorce rates, they start and like the lack of people getting married, it starts going down in the 70s. So it's like right after birth control and a lot of government benefits and no fault divorce.
So where do men take accountability as leaders in this community? Because all I hear is what's women's fault, but where are the men?
Well, we don't have to. The government ain't gonna hold us accountable regardless if we want to or not.
You know what? And I only hear that from Black men. So why are y'all always talking about the government holding y'all back when other people have?
Because it's called policy.
Come from different countries, and they're able to succeed and build families and legacy and land and everything else. But all we hear is excuses. Y'all don't want to hear excuses from women. So why do y'all keep giving them?
Hold on. What excuse did we make?
You just said the government.
I said we're held accountable. We are accountable for our actions, and we're going to be held regardless if we want to or not.
Have to, because it's causing a lot of problems in the community.
Let me give you an example of accountability real quick.
Gonna let me finish talking, or okay, go ahead.
I'll just give you a quick example of accountability. You know, in America, you can live with it. You can live with a woman for 3 to 4 years. If she get pregnant, and you don't even have to be the father. They're gonna put you on a birth certificate, and the child don't even have to be yours. You don't even have to have sex with her.
So we're going with the extremes.
Oh, that's not extreme.
It's not an extreme. There's multiple. There's actually no. It's not an extreme. There's multiple laws that are like that are similar. Like, for example, in some states, if you live with a guy for 30 days, he can't legally kick you out.
That's
and
vice
so it's
versa.
like, what?
It's vice versa.
What?
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's one way.
It's one way.
The laws tend to favor women. So, like, for example, like alimony cases, what % do women win? They'll always use the example
and how many men actually have the money for women to get anything from alimony? Let's talk about that.
Oh man, you deflecting.
I'm not deflecting.
That's answering all of your questions about accountability.
Whenever.
One at a time. Hold on, Bruiser. Hold on.
Having money, and y'all be getting mad and scared because Dr. Dre, somebody who actually has money, is in a situation where his wife took not even 10% of his income, but y'all over here complaining, and most of y'all are making less than 6 figures a year, but y'all think y'all she's gonna take off what money?
I mean, here's the thing. It might not be money that they have now, but it's like if they spend the last 20, 30 years building with a girl, she can leave and take half. That's a lot of power to give a woman.
You just said a keyword there. Build with. So if that woman stuck it out for that long and build with that man, where he was able to go build that business because she was taking care of the house, she was taking care of the kids, she was taking care of a lot of responsibilities for that man to thrive as a man to who he is today, why is she not going to benefit? Because he wouldn't be who he is today without the help of his woman. You
I
just
mean,
said Bill
you could, because I don't think you're entitled to a man's earnings. It's just my opinion. Like, I think go get a job, hun. Because I mean, Jeff Bezos, you're telling me like when she left, let's use Jeff Bezos as an example. When she left, he made more money. She didn't. So like clearly money wise, why is she entitled to his money?
Because she keeps giving it away. But let me ask you something, because don't you
let's like would Jeff Bezos have built Amazon without her? Probably. Would Jeff Bezos have built Amazon without her?
Let's go right. Don't you come from a big family?
Yes.
Okay, how many brothers and sisters you have? You said 7.
You like to get personal.
No, I'm not getting personal. I didn't even ask the question yet. I'm asking because you put it out there, right? You put it out there on the internet, so that's why I'm asking. I'm clarifying.
I have 9 siblings. It
okay,
just seems
so cool.
to
So
get
did your mother work? Did your mother work?
Yes.
She worked and took care of all 9 siblings. So who watched you guys while your mother worked?
Who watched us? Well, there was 10 of us, so it depends. Sometimes she did, and sometimes we had nannies.
Or the oldest brother or oldest sister.
Yeah, that too.
Okay, so you had people like that. Your father had money to afford somebody to watch the kids, right?
At times, yes.
Okay, so in the average household, if mom is working and dad is working, who's watching the children? Because it's not nannies for everybody.
It's well, she was working. If you're gonna ask me questions, I'm gonna give you context. She was working for my dad.
So he gave her a job.
Yes.
To work for, and so obviously he gave her a job where she's able to work and be a mother, right? Okay, and I think
for him.
I think that's lovely. So let me clarify something. I wasn't asking that to talk about your family life. I'm asking that because your father provided for the family and your mother so she can take care of the kids. That's what I'm talking about.
I understand, but I just don't think you're entitled to half of his shit.
But
I just don't.
If the husband,
I don't think you should be paid to. I don't think you should be paid to leave a marriage. No.
So if the husband did not provide his wife resources where she can take care of the kids, and she has to go out and work, or she's not working, she's taking care of the kids, right? Because he can't afford a nanny, so she's sacrificing all of her time.
Why is it looking as a sacrifice? She gets to stay home. That's a privilege.
And that's okay. So I'm not.
I have a question.
And she would still have wife skills. So like if you're gonna learn how to be, if you're gonna stay home and take care of kids, you still have wife skills. So you can still get married to someone else.
What I'm saying is, you're saying go out there and work, but there are women that I personally know who have a woman, for example, have 7 kids with her husband. He was the main provider, and she stayed at home. She didn't go to school. She didn't get her education. She did and fulfilled her duty as a wife and mother, right? That man decided to leave the home with another woman. That's his choice. Okay, cool. He's decided to do that. That left that woman with no resources, no income, no education, no work experience for the past 20 years. And you have the nerve to sit up here and tell some women in those situations, just get up and work. Who's going to be watching those 7 kids because dad's not doing what he needs to do? That's why the government stepped in and started holding men accountable, because the children were suffering.
But you're using an extreme example.
That's not an extreme. That's why it actually started.
When women again, you have to stop cutting me off.
You're cutting me off because I wasn't even done.
Y'all one at a time. Y'all one at a time.
Women are the ones that leave. So women leave 70 to 80% of the time, 90% if they're college educated. So why don't we talk about the women before we talk about the men?